This is a bit of a clanger by Mitt Romney. This will be portrayed by the Democrats, I think, very strongly from now to the election as a guy dismissing half of America as people who are just victims living off the state.
Well, it shows me that Mitt Romney probably lives in a world that I don't live in. You know, he lives in a world that I hear he's worth, what, $250 million, and he comes from wealth. And most people I find that are born with that kind of money truly don't know what it's like to be out there. I mean, you know, I remember when I started years ago on my pro wrestling career, when I'd just gotten out of the United States Navy, I left with a beat-up car and $250, and that's all I had to my name when I went off to start my pro wrestling career.
I think it's an embarrassing thing for Mitt Romney, however he tries to spin this.
Well, it seems Mitt Romney lately has been saying a lot of embarrassing things, you know, and he's certainly not going to endear yourself to 47% of the country, and I would think it's going to be quite hard to win. But maybe their plan is that they got these new voter registration laws to where they can deny 45% of the country of the ability to vote. You know, maybe that's their ultimate plan, is to only get to half the country and let only half the country vote in the first place. Because on that note, this whole thing's a farce. Voter fraud is a complete red flag. There's about as much voter fraud in this country as there is people being struck by lightning bolts. I know that from a governor's standpoint. Voter fraud is nothing, and yet they're trying to give everybody an ID card. Poor people would have to pay $35 to go get a state ID. Well, if you're that poor, $35 might be the difference between whether you eat that day or not. Well, what do you think a person's going to do? They're going to go get food.
Mitt Romney's had a rough week because of the Benghazi incident, in which he was deemed by most people, including many on his own side, to have jumped in with a critical statement of the president, really without knowing all the facts, and turning it into a political football when most people thought that was the wrong thing to be doing.
Oh, I agree.
As an American politician at that time.
Well, absolutely. When our country's attacked in any way, shape, or form, we need to pull together. We need to come together, not separate at that point. I mean, you want what I would do over there? I would do what the pinnacle of the Republican Party, the hero, whatever, of modern day, Ronald Reagan, did. Do you recall back in the 80s when the barracks in Lebanon was hit and over 200 Marines were killed? Did Ronald Reagan go to war? No, he got us the hell out of there.